This NFT trader made 130 ETH this month, and we're gonna talk to him today. He's gonna reveal his strategies, his secrets, his thoughts on all the FOMO in Goblin Town, and we're literally gonna parse through every single trade he made in May and how he exactly got up to 130 ETH. Let's jump into that video today, boys. So we're back with EB7. He joined us a couple weeks ago, very popular video, and he looks a little different right now. He looks like a guy who might have missed Goblin Town.
Yeah, I sure did. Not only did I miss it, I passed on it at 0.08, and I'm in the struggles. I'm in the coping cave right now, and it is what it is. We all make it there sometimes.
Yeah, I think you're in the Goblin Cave, and so some facial hair going right now. But we wanted to do, we wanted to talk about some of the tweets you've sent out recently and kind of break them down to gain insight about the NFT market and your strategies. May flipping and trading report, bear market. It's up to us to capitalize. So I was actually really anticipating this one because the April flipping report was astonishing, but I was like, all right, it's May, bear market, everything's crashing. I didn't even think we were gonna get a trading report this month, but we got one, 130 ETH. The first batch of this is you kind of maneuvering with doodles, and there's a rainbow puke in there, some other side land. Let's start off with doodles first. What was kind of your May strategy with doodles? They had the duplicator drop.
Yeah, so for doodles, we all knew something was coming. Like they've been hyping it up for a while. Floor was pretty low compared to what I expected it to be. I knew it was thin all the way up to like 18 range, and with one announcement, I knew it would easily pump again. Doodles has one really good thing about them, is that when hype gets behind them, they run, and they run hard. So I went ahead and I bought some floor doodles. These were not to at any point holds. I did not expect to hold them long term. And then rainbow puke floor was, I believe, like 48, and I saw one pop up for 35, and I was like, you know what, this is it, I'm gonna grab it. Rainbow pukes never go below 35, so at worst case, I just dump it. I dump it at 35, I lose 1 or 2 ETH to fees, and so be it. I'll take the risk. And total, I had, I kept some for the duplicators, and I took out some others. I would have to like look at the specific report all over again, but my play was, when it got to that point where it was over 20, I have to unload something because I need to lower my cost basis on everything else. The reason for buying multiple doodles is for that. I can risk a duplicator if I sell another one at a high price point because I'm already lowering that cost from that 15 all the way to that 10. So there's no real risk associated. They're not going to dump below 10, right? So that was my thinking behind that. The rainbow puke, I believe I traded for 2 floors, 2 floors and 2 ETH. Yeah. So floor was high then. I decided to just go for it, be more liquid. I wasn't getting a lot of traction on the rainbow puke. To be fair, it was a terrible rainbow puke. I picked the worst one. I mean, I didn't pick it. It was just, floor was it got dumped there. Someone wanted a rainbow puke. So I took advantage to get more liquid. I think those are the ones I held for the duplicators, or the previous ones. I sold some before or after. I don't remember exactly. And that's a lot of the things that I do. Like if I buy a rare one and I'm able to go down into 2 more liquid assets while maintaining my value or winning on the value, that's always a better play. Unless you're holding long term, rares are some of the best things to downgrade. What people underestimate that. A lot of people don't have 40 to 50 ETH liquid to just throw at you, but they did buy 2 to 3 doodles at 3 ETH, right? And this is like their opportunity, because most people that have rares only want liquid. I'm the guy that's like, no, I'll take anything, bro. Throw 3 doodles, 5, cats, chickens, whatever you want, just anything that gives me value. So I traded down to that, and then I got really lucky on the other rainbow puke. The other rainbow puke was a top 5 rainbow puke. Some guy panicked during the dump, listed 3 rainbow pukes at 35, and I sniped this one. I knew that it was an easy 5 to 6 ETH profit, and I think that's exactly what I got, 6 to 7 ETH profit, including the duplicator.
Yeah, I mean, did very well managing the doodles announcements there with the duplicators. I think this next one might be one of my favorite trades I've seen, because it further solidifies my belief that you want to be making conviction plays and then rotating that into the obvious blue chip project. So this one here, 27 monolith for 120 ETH, 4.4 each. You traded 17 for an ape, 74 ETH cost on the ape, traded 8 plus 20 ETH for space suit ape. So let's just start off with the monolith of it all. How does one person have that much conviction in a project to buy 27 of something?
To me, monoliths are at 4.4 was just like, if I had 200 ETH and he had 27 more monoliths, I would have bought all of them. These are basically what people don't understand about monoliths, is that a monolith 1 gives you a monolith 2, bundle, a shoe, and a vial, right? We are in the industry with the most degenerate gamblers of all time. This is like gambling people just opening these boxes as an excuse to say, no, I'm not gambling, I'm buying an NFT. So now the supply on monolith ones keep going down as the one on monolith twos keep going up, because every time a monolith one gets open, it spawns in a monolith two essentially, right? So I know Clone X is nowhere near done, and it was just in a bad cycle. These monoliths at one point hit 12 ETH. So it was pretty obvious to me that, you know what, like at 4 ETH, this is an absolute no-brainer. If I open all of these and I get the monolith 2, the shoe, and the other thing, I get 4 ETH. So at most it's 0.4 loss if I continuously pull the worst vial out of every single one of those 27 boxes. To me, there was a no-lose situation. He only wanted to give me 14. I told him I will only buy a huge bundle of 27 or I walk. And I know there's no one else buying these bundles. So, you know, I used my leverage. I made sure I had enough ETH. And at this time, you know, it was almost all my ETH. That I was almost dried up after that purchase, because I had also bought 2 Murakami DNAs the day before. And I mean, it just made sense. It's over 60% down. It's the project is working with Nike. You know that it's not the end of it, and it spawns in a double gamble, because you know that monolith 2 is going to open eventually into something else, and people are going to prefer that first one.
Yeah, they've kind of delayed an announcement with, you know, there's another reveal happening. Most of the rest of the trades here are you just being an expert when it comes to Bored Ape Yacht Club, which I recommend to a lot of people. I think you've given this, you know, echoed this before, where you just really have to know certain projects well, and it depends on, you know, maybe you're somebody who really knows cool cats. I don't know. Maybe you're somebody who really knows dead fellas. Specific types of projects, know the traits, know what's undervalued. Goblin's really about to flip. Doodles, Clones, and Azuki. You mentioned your friend told you to buy at 0.08 and you didn't. Why didn't you? And why, like, how does it feel to cope this much?
All right. So the main reason I didn't buy is I know art is completely subjective. So I'll never say the art is bad. I'll say to me, it doesn't appeal, right? Because to someone it might appeal. To me, it doesn't appeal. I could not get behind it. And on top of that, I was just looking at the market situation. And it was just like, why would people just continuously invest their money in a market where everything is down bad into goblins? But I underestimated the fact that, look, man, memes and happiness above everything. And they built this whole meme atmosphere within the community when it was all negativity. And that was me overlooking how much that helps. And it happened with MFers, and it's happened before with other things. I learned my lesson. I will not pass the next one.
But let's not overlook, you've had a pretty good week nonetheless. So let's go to this other tweet. Yesterday, your pimp coat 8 just got hit for 180 ETH. Your first grail you had listed way over. This is your first big OpenSea sale. So tell us about this pimp coat 8. You let it go for 180 ETH. What was the thought process behind listing this on OpenSea, and how happy are you?
Yeah, I mean, this was honestly, I always tell this to my friends, and I always say, like, I am the unluckiest person when it comes to OpenSea. I've sold over like 150 NFTs, and they've all been private sales, trades, all of this, but I have never been able to sell anything on OpenSea above floor. Like, all my sales on OpenSea have been hits on floor. So I listed this one. As you saw, I bought my actual like absolute grail ape the other day, and I was like, okay, it's time to let go of my pimp code. I know someone will value this. It is an incredible ape, and to be sitting in my wallet, I don't need it. I'd rather stack a floor ape and get some liquidity back. So I listed it at 200. A pimp code ape got hit for 250. Like the day I listed it for 200, I was like, you know, like my ape is better than that. Maybe I grab onto the fact that pimp codes have all eyes on them right now. After that 250 sale, I lowered it to 180. So there was enough of a gap between me and the other ape. There was a 50 ETH gap in floor, and really make it look appetizing to buy it. And last night I was literally looking at the activity tab on apes. I was on a call with AJ. He was going to buy a flipped brim, and it sold. And I was just looking at activity, and I watched it refresh in my face. Like, it literally came up, and I'm just staring at it. And AJ goes, yo, Eric, your ape just sold. And I'm like, I'm looking at it, but I'm trying to process it, man. Like, give me like 30 seconds here. It was the most incredible feeling.
Yeah. So on top of that, you had mentioned you also bought a grail ape. Why do you love this? You called it a perfect 4 trait here. Why did you love this so much? Why is this your long-term hold?
I think when you see that ape, obviously 4 traits, I've never been big into 4 traits because I understand the simplicity in them, but I always like a little bit of character in my apes, which is why I got the pimp code, the spacesuit, all these types of apes that really have the character. And when I saw this one with that with the glasses and the cigarette, it just gave me like, all right, I have one of the cleanest, like all white with the white background apes that I know the other person that owns the all white white background 4-trade ape with nothing on it, and he's gotten offers of above 400 on that ape. So I'm like, okay, this one is perfect for me. It's got the character and it's got that grail status of apes. In a regular market, this will not go for under 200. I have the one opportunity to get it now. It's a huge buy. In the market floor on apes was 80 and dumping at the day I bought it. I bought it at like 144. But it was just perfect, man. I think those glasses, everything just works, and I'm so happy. I think branding wise, like when your Twitter grows and everything, you have a brand, and I think branding wise, it's a perfect ape. You can match it on anything, clothing, headers, logos, everything.
Speaking of Twitter, you're going to want to follow EB7 on Twitter. One of the best follows right now. That's kind of why we're just breaking through his tweets right now. And one of the things, you talk about apes, but you also give out some great advice. So this next tweet, you said, trading advice, 3 quick points, live by them. If you fully agree a deal, honor your word. It's your most valuable asset. If you are considering a deal and aren't interested, say it up and be it up front. Do not ghost. Never get mad at a low ball. Just kind of like decline, leave the door open. So we were just kind of talking about this a second ago with, you not using OpenSea too much. So talk a little bit about kind of the rules and etiquettes of doing private sales.
So the first point to me is like very, very important. That's why I had it up there at number 1. Always honor your word once you agree a deal. I'll give a pretty quick example that's happening right now. I agreed a deal 100% for my sushi ape, my red merge sushi ape for 110 ETH. I agreed this deal 2 days ago when Floor was dumping. He decided to give me the full amount I was asking for. I was waiting for him that night, and he had his ETH in KuCoin. It was his first NFT purchase, and it doesn't let him send all of it at once. So it takes 5 days in total for him to send that amount into his MetaMask. And I told him, it's okay, man. Like, I agreed this deal no matter what. If you would have had it, I would have sold it to you that night. So it doesn't change anything what happens with the Floor in the next 4 days. Why? Because I agreed it. It was a handshake deal, and I would have respected. I would have loved for them to respect it. It has happened to me before on both ends. When I was buying Play Imposters, a guy named Tiger, a big ape guy, we agreed a deal. He left his house to have lunch for a family thing. He came back. Floor was up 1 ETH. He honored the deal on my 9 imposters at 1.8 when Floor was 2.8. The biggest traders, your word is everything. Like if people cannot count on you agreeing a deal and actually honoring it, your word means absolutely nothing. And no one in like the more you grow in the ladder, your reputation will follow you. So if you get greedy for that 2 to 3 ETH more at the cost of your word, it's not worth it.
On that note of pumps, you talked about that guy. He left his house, came back up 1 ETH. You had another advice of the day, which was stop delisting during a pump. Too many people try to sell when volume is low, and when it picks up, you raise your price or delist and then write it all the way back down. Sell into the volume or you'll be stuck for another cycle. It's not worth the extra 0.5. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, we see it in every collection. We see it from collections ranging from 0.1 all the way to apes, punks, everything. Everyone's always, when it's dumping, everyone's like, well, I'm not getting a hit. There's no liquidity. I want to sell. And then you see volume pick up and you are listed 1 ETH above floor, or 0.2 above floor, or even like 0.1. And you're like, oh my God, it's going to hit. I'm the floor one. And then you delist and you're like, I don't want to be the floor one. I want to get hit above the floor. And then the volume is gone. And there you are sitting with the same NFT you wanted to sell 30 minutes before. And now the volume is no longer there. No one's going to buy it. And you're going to write it back down right to where it was before. You're going to be the floor again. The only difference is you're going to be saying, please someone come buy it. Please someone come buy it. It is never worth it to delist it for that extra thing. If you wanted to sell it, it was for a reason. Take advantage. This is the moment you've been waiting for.
Okay, this next tweet comes with one of those like supervisory labels. Like, this is extremely degen right now. We are not financial advisors. Trading crypto is extremely risky. I want to bring this up. Shout out my guy, Franklin. Had him on this channel a bunch of times, the OG, but you're inspired by him a little bit. You did a little late night flipping to feel something. Let's take a look here. You were flipping. What is the OK Duck Yacht Club?
I was at a low point, man. Okay, I was at my lowest. Look, honestly, here's what happened. So in my trading group, there's I think 5 people that own black suit apes. right? Like the grails of the grails. And I always mess with them. I was very close to buying 2 of them. They both got out of it like by 10 ETH difference. So they're always like, Eric, when's your black suit grail coming? When's your black suit grail? And I saw these ducks, and look, to be honest, I thought they were pretty cool. Like it was good quality, you know? And I was like, you know what? I'm going to troll all of them. So I bought a duck with a black suit, and I was like, yo, I just got my grail black suit. Let's go, boys. And everyone started hyping up the Discord, and then I dropped the duck in there. And like, I saw the price go up, and I saw Franklin tweet like, just flip this. And I'm like, am I going to write this meme in my Discord, or do I just flip it? And everything was down. I wasn't making any money that week. So I listed it. It got hit. I was like, all right, I feel alive again. You know, let me go give some props to Franklin here. He's a good friend as well. I've done a lot of deals with him in the past, and it was fun, man. Sometimes, you know, I do these little plays, but I never advise anyone to do them because I'm a degen that like that joke could have cost me, you know, like $500. Like trolling my Discord could have cost me $500, but like in that moment, I was having fun.
Yeah, I've definitely lost thousands of dollars in this NFT space just doing it for like the memes and the giggles. Yeah. So it happens. And that's kind of how you make out with over 130 ETH in 1 month. EB7 on Twitter is how we get the best tweets in the game right now. EB7, Eric, thanks for coming on the YouTube channel today, man.
It's always a pleasure. I always have a good time here, and with your community on Discord, it's a lot of fun. I enjoy it, even though I made a bad call. You know, it is what it is. I'm sorry, Discord. I love you guys, but I thank you for having me, man. And I hope we have a nice report in June as well. We know the pimp code is going on there, so that'll be nice. But gotta get to work and see what I can do in June.
And that's the video for today, guys. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all that fun, cringy YouTube stuff, or maybe just don't do it at all. I appreciate you guys. I love you. Thank you so much for tuning in. And remember to say, gang, gang.